All right, what are we doing today? Find the slope of a line from a graph. But first things first, you have to do your bell ringer. So let's do that first. Okay. Oh, what are we doing? Review. Okay, I'll shut myself up for a minute while you guys work on this. Okay, I'm back, folks. Printing some stuff out for you. Okay, first one, x to the 6th times x to the 9th. I can't write on this, so sorry. You just have to deal with it. Same base. When you're multiplying exponents with the same base, you add the powers. X to the 6th times x to the 9th is x to the 15th. Number 2 is very similar. B to the 19th divided by b to the 12th. When you're dividing exponents that have the same base, you subtract the powers. 19 minus 12 is 7, so b to the 7th. And the last one, it's a two-step equation. First thing you do is you get rid of any addition or subtraction. In this case, that's the minus 4. You add 4 to both sides to get rid of the minus 4. 8k equals 40, and then you divide both sides by 8, k equals 5. And you have to check, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's see what we have here. The slope of a line from a graph. Okay, so slope of a line is just defined as rise over run. Rise is how much the line goes up or down. Now, normally when we talk about something rising, it means going up. But in math class, rise can be up or down. If the line's going up, the slope is going to be positive and the rise is going to be positive. If the line's going down from left to right, the rise is going to be negative and then the slope is going to be negative. And for run, we only measure it from left to right. So when you're trying to find the slope of a line, you always have to start with a point that's on the left. Yeah, I don't want to talk about why that is, but if you do it the other way around, you're going to get the wrong answer. So you pick 2 points that are on the graph, you count how much you're going up or down between the 2 points, and then how much you're moving left to right between the 2 points. So like here's a really simple example. I hope you guys can see this okay. We pick these 2 points. It's also best to pick points that like line up exactly on one of the grid markers, you know, like so it's a nice whole number. But anyway, you start from the point on the left. From that point, you count down 3, so that's going to be -3, and over 1. You're always going left to right. So the run is always going to be positive. The rise could be positive or negative. In this case, we're going down 3, so -3, and then over 1. So our slope is -3/1, which just simplifies to -3. All right, let's take a look at this one. What are we trying to do? We're trying to find this slope. Okay, so slope is just the measure of how steep a line is, and we calculate it by rise over run. So when we say the rise, we mean how much the line goes up or down, and that can be, the rise could be either positive or negative. The run is always, oh geez, that's bad. Rise over run. Okay, so the rise can be positive or negative, but the run always goes left to right. So when we're trying to calculate the slope, we want to start with the point that's furthest to the left. Now, if you guys remember from the Mr. Slope Dude video, if a line goes up from left to right, then the slope is positive. So I know that this slope is going to be positive. I'm going to start at this point, and I'm going to count how much I go up, how much I go up on the y-axis, and then how much I go over on the x-axis. So starting from here, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that my rise is going to be 5. And then on the x-axis, I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that my run is going to be 4. So my slope is going to be 5/4. Slope equals 5/4. And then the way you do this worksheet is you look at the answer key, whichever one has 5/4, and then whatever number that is, well, this number is 13, you put it in the box that matches with that letter. I hope that makes sense, but this is number 13. You look at the box that has 5/4 in it. Whatever letter that is, you put 13 in that box. Okay, so let me just explain that a little bit more clearly. The answer for number 13 was 5/4. So on your answer key, 5/4 corresponds with letter P. Then you go down to that grid where it says letter P, and you write number 13. Because 13 has an answer of 5/4. 5/4 corresponds to letter P. So number 13 goes in the box marked letter P. Okay, this one I know just by looking at it, it's going to be negative because it goes down from left to right. We always look at a line from left to right, and this one's going down from left to right, so I know it's going to be negative. And then we start with the point that's furthest to the left. So we start with this point, and then we got to count how much we go down and how much we go over left to right. Now, because we're going down, the rise, okay, let me write out here, rise over run, because we're going down, the rise is going to be negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because we're going down, the rise is going to be -6. And then the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So -6/7. The slope of this line is -6/7. And then what do you do with that information? You go over to your answer sheet and you look for the one that has -6/7. So I'm looking at the answer sheet. -6/7 is letter E. And this question was number 14. So then in the box where you see letter E, you're going to write 14. Now, a question like number 16, I don't want to give you the answer to, but if you think back to the Slope Dude video, when he's going up the hill, he says puff, puff, positive. When he goes down the hill, he says nice, negative. When he's on flat ground, he says this is 0 fun. And then when he drops off the edge of the cliff, he says undefined. And looking at this, you could probably figure out which of those answers makes sense. This is when Slope Dude is on flat ground. Okay, I wanted to go over number 23 because this one is a little bit tricky if you're not sure how the answer should be written. So what you do with this one is you, like all the other problems, you start with the point on the left and you go to the point on the right. I can tell this is going to be a positive slope, so I know my answer is going to be positive. So I'm going to start with this point here. Start with the point on the left. I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So the rise is 4. And then the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the run is 6. So 4 over 6. Then you go to your answer sheet and you look for 4 over 6, only to find that 4 over 6 is not there. So then you think, well, either this worksheet is wrong or I have more work to do. And it turns out that this answer of 4 over 6 can be reduced because 4 and 6 are both divisible by 2. So you can reduce this fraction. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the answer is actually going to be 2 over 3. And looking here, let me look at the answer sheet here. So 23 is 2 over 3. So that's letter G. So G in that box, you should write 23.